Thank you for joining us. I'm Ellie Pai Hong, and this is Comcast Newsmakers coming to you from the state capitol in Springfield. This hour's newsmaker is Greg Harris, state representative for the 13th district. Today we will be talking about help for clinical trial cancer patients. Great to have you here, Representative.
Oh, thanks for having me.
This is legislation that you've been working on for a few years now that you recently got passed.
Yes.
Tell us about what happens with clinical cancer trial patients.
In Illinois, some insurance companies have had the ability in the past to cancel and deny coverage for people who go into clinical cancer trials, cutting their family out of insurance, but also denying the most cutting-edge treatments to people who are trying to get through cancer. What this bill does is it requires insurance companies to maintain the underlying coverage of people should they go into a clinical cancer trial.
Because it's not only that patient. If that patient is a breadwinner in that family, the entire family would get denied coverage.
Absolutely, and there's just been heart-rending stories of women with breast cancer who may be the breadwinner in that family, like you said, who, in order to save their own lives, they have to make a choice. Do we cut out insurance for our entire family to get into this trial, or do we go into the trial and then run the risk that another member of our family could become gravely ill and we have no resources?
Right, and I'm sure that would have discouraged a lot of patients from entering those clinical trials.
Yeah, we have person after person who's come to us and said, what a horrible choice. It's really the life and death decision, and they're choosing my life versus my family's life. How do you judge that? How do you decide?
And isn't it the more people join these clinical trials, the more likely it is that a possible cure will be found?
Well, especially in cancer. The drugs that they're coming out with now are less invasive, they're less harmful, less side effects. This is going to benefit society and save hundreds of millions and billions of dollars over time as we get better treatments that are faster, that are more effective, for people who have different kinds of cancers.
Now, you've been doing work for breast cancer research, breast cancer patients for a while now, and this spans back because of a certain visit that you had.
I had, a number of years ago, gone to Asian Human Services, which runs a health center in my neighborhood, and talked to a lot of women there who were really struggling with cancer and breast cancer in particular, and they were telling me the challenges that the system was throwing up to women who were trying to get decent treatment. And that was when I decided that this would just be one of the causes I would come down here and work on every year until a person with cancer in Illinois has the best possible treatment that's available to them at the best and most affordable price for their family.
Yeah, we were talking off camera for a little bit in terms of how the disparities in treatment for minority women as opposed to white women.
Right. There was a 116% difference in the Chicago metropolitan area in mortality from breast cancer, based on someone's race or insurance status. And I mean, that just should not be. Just because you are a poor woman or a woman from a minority or an immigrant community, you should not have a death sentence when other women are clearly getting the treatments they need.
So you actually set up a task force to find out why that is.
With researchers and hospitals and oncologists across the city of Chicago who helped to identify what were the reasons for these disparities. And then we've been working very methodically to reduce and eliminate them through changing public policy, working with providers on best practices, and even little things like setting up a trial for case managers to help women through the process. Because managing the bills and managing 4 different doctors and all these meds, and sometimes women just got so overwhelmed they came out of treatment because they just couldn't handle the stress of it.
Now that you've passed this bill, what's ahead for the future?
I think we sit down with the people from the Komen Foundation and the Cancer Society, and we figure out what's the next best thing we can do for keeping a healthy population in the state of Illinois.
Well, you're doing great work. Thank you so much for coming in to tell us all about it. Appreciate your time. This hour's newsmaker has been State Representative Greg Harris. I'm Ellie Pai Hong. Thank you so much for joining us. For more information on Comcast Newsmakers, head online to newsmakers.tv. We'll see you next time.